Hey guys, Phobia again, and today what I'm going to bring to y'all is my 2v2 build, both my double DPS and playing with the healer builds, so those say 2 in 1. All right. Just a little disclaimer, if you haven't watched my other video, my guide I just put out, I will let you know that this, for all that have watched it, the build is not that much different other than a couple of key things that you want in 2v2 arena. That's so I'm just if the comments start flooding, it looks the same. There's not much different for Shadow Priest, considering Shadow Priest is a utility-based support DPS. So a lot of things you're going to want to keep the same. Now that that's out there, let's get into it. All right, guys? Okay. So first thing, I already reset my talents for everybody. We're going to go ahead and start on the regular priest side first, okay? Like I said, a lot of things are going to be the same. We're going to go and get our Dispel Magic. We're going to go and get our Purify Disease. We're going to grab Psychic Voice to get Reduced Fears. Phantasm to get freedoms from our Fade. Void Tendrils for CC, or to be able to root people. Mind Control. All right, that's this side. The left side, we're going to go ahead and grab Improved Flash Heal. And the difference between my guide for 3v3 Arena and my guide for 2v2 double DPS is you're going to want From Darkness Comes Shadow. From Darkness Comes Shadow increases your healing every time Shadow or Pain does damage. Well, double DPS generally gets to go first, right? You generally go in, you get to do a bunch of damage before they do anything to you in most situations. So you get to stack this up, but it also pairs with Measure Contemplation, the legendary. Make sure you grab this for pre-patch, okay? Because people are using legendaries in pre-patch. I'm giving you guys the tools. During pre-patch, this is a pre-patch guide, grab Measure Contemplation. For every 15 seconds that you do not flash heal, the healing of your next flash heal is increased by 50%. So while you're doing your burst and you're doing all the setup, you're gaining both of these effects that do stack on each other, so you get these humongous heals. Very good in 2v2 double DPS, so you can heal one time and try to top somebody off through MSs, through bursts. If they have no cooldowns, it just keeps you alive longer. All right, so that's why we run From Darkness Comes Light. All right, next you're going to go Leap of Faith and Move with Grace, so you get more Leap of Faiths if they go your teammate. Let me retrack also. The reason why we're running that over Protective Light in twos is because Protective Light doesn't work on teammates. You can't give them the damage reduction, while you can heal them with From Darkness Comes Light. All right. Let's keep going. Body and Soul, Master Spell, and Improve Master Spell for blocks, bubbles, anything that you need to get off. Power Infusion and Twins of the Sun Priestess. That way you can give your teammate PI when you have a go going and they get a bunch of haste and you guys can just kill somebody faster, right? It's all utility. You're giving them what you get. All right, Twist of Fate is a must, right? You get more healing and damage when you get somebody low. All right, now we're going to go back to the right side and grab Vampiric Embrace and Sandalene for healing. Vampiric Embrace heals you on single target shadow damage. Sandalene reduces the cooldown and gives more healing towards that. It also, if you guys don't know, Vampiric Embrace heals teammates too. We're going to go Throes of Pain for more damage. Translucent Image for damage reduction, right? So if you use Fade as a defensive, you get to take damage reduction. Mind Games, Manipulation, and Shadow Perceptions. Yes, we still take this even though it was nerfed. It's still our main burst, and it still has a way to heal you. So it's in a 2v2 double DPS. You want that survivability, so you're going to want Mind Games. So that's what your build's going to look like, boys and girls, right here, okay? And this, again, is for pre-patch. At level 70, I'll have a different guide. We'll have more points, more things to go into, but this is a pre-patch guide. Now on to the right side. Devouring Plague, Dispersion, Shouty Apparitions, Silence, okay? Then you're going to go down and grab your Stun, Misery, Intangibility. Intangibility reduces the cooldown and heals you more for your Dispersion. You're going to go down the left side and get the procs, right? You're going to get Coalescing Shadows, Puppet Master, and Harness Shadows to make sure you keep your Coalition Shadows proccing a lot so you can get more passive damage through your periodic damage with the effect that it gets when it bursts, but it also increases the damage of your Mind Spike and Mind Blast. So you want to grab this. Then you're going to skip Mind Seer and grab that juicy Mind Spike. That's the thing. It generates Insanity. It procs all the time. Buffs Mind Blast. We already know what this does. Grab Unfurling Darkness. Grab Surge of Darkness. That's where You get the Mind Spike instant procs. It increases Mind Spike's damage up to, and you get 3 stacks of it. Every time you get a Surge of Darkness, you can use it, which gives you a Mind Melt. Once you use it, gives your Mind Blast 50% faster. And with one it stacks twice, so you get 100% faster, which is an instant, obviously, Mind Blast, and that 50% critical strike chance Mind Blast. So all that just procs off. You already know how this works. All right, Whispers of Dam. If it crits, you get more Insanity. Shadow Crash. This is a big one. You don't have to cast. If you have 2 melee on you, or you have like a warrior or a windwalker and you're about to die and you can't get your dots out, well, you Shadow Crash, boom. You can Shadow Crash all the images, all the pets from a Death Knight, and you have VT and Devouring VT and Shadow Pain on everybody with a Shadow Crash. So make sure you save your Shadow Crashes. All right. From there, we're going to make sure you grab Dark Ascension. So that's the big one that's different in this build. I don't run Dark Ascension generally at level 60. But in 2v2, you want that extra burst. In the 2v2 arena, you're going to want that extra burst, right? So you're going to grab Dark Ascension. Okay. Next up, we're going to grab Shadowy Insight, which is how you get instant Mind Blasts based off of your Shadow or Pain. And you're going to grab Dark Evangelism. Dark Evangelism, every time you Mind Flay, it stacks out 5 times, 10% passive damage reduction, or 10% passive damage gain through your dots, which also is what Coalition Shadow does. So you have a 10% Coalition Shadow and a 10% Dark Evangelism, 20% dot damage, right? On that, you're going to grab Mind Flay Insanity. Another thing you guys should know is Dark Evangelism and Coalition Shadows buffs Mind Flay Insanity. Mind Flay Insanity, every Devouring Plague, your Mind Flay does 80% more damage, and it does it faster, right? That's what we're going to grab over here. Now we're going to go back over to the right side, and we're going to grab Damnation, which is how you apply all your dots, your Pain, your Vampiric Touch, and your Devouring Plague. We're going to grab Insidious Eyrie, and we're going to grab Encroaching Shadows, all right? Essentially the same build that I was doing before in my guide that you guys saw, but we are picking up Dark Ascension for that big burst when you're doing double DPS. All right, this is what it's going to look like for your double DPS build. Now, like I said, the build is not going to change that much from playing with a healer. Some key things that you can do if you're going to play with a healer and you want more one-shotty kind of stuff, or just more consistency on your burst, you can drop either Insidious Eyrie or Encroaching Shadows and grab Ancient Madness. I wouldn't. I honestly would just stay with the proc build and keep Dark Ascension. That's my personal opinion. I don't think that the Ancient Madness is worth it because you have to put 2 points into it. I would keep where we're at, and this is the best build, right? But if you're playing with the healer, you are going to want to drop From Darkness Comes Light, and you are going to want to grab Protective Light, all right? Also, you're going to want to go ahead and drop Twins of the Sun Priestess and grab Improved Fade if you're playing with a healer. Now, if your healer is like a druid or a shaman, you could still drop Improved Fade and run Twins of the Sun Priestess. They can help with damage. It gets their cast out faster on your go. Globals are faster. Shaman and druid are very big on their haste globals. Like, their globals matter, right? They don't have they don't have much utility outside of their cast. So if you can give them more utility from giving them haste, they get their cast out faster. Lava Burst, Moonfires. I think they can do Star Surges and stuff now. You just want more Cyclones, faster roots. I personally would recommend, if you're playing with a Shaman healer or a Druid healer, to run Twins of the Sun Priestess. Also, if you're playing with a healer, you're not going to run Major Contemplation. I would recommend you guys grab yourselves a Painbreaker's Psalm. It's going to give you Shadow Word death damage every time you put your dots up. So I would definitely recommend running the Painbreaker Psalm as your legendary. And trinkets are going to be based upon what you're queuing into, right? So Rogue Mage, you're going to want to make sure you have an Aegis and a Medallion for healer and double DPS, right? If you're fighting against Rogue Mage. If you're fighting against like a warrior, you're going to want to go ahead and bring yourself to maybe a Relentless and a Insignia. If you're playing human, if you're playing anything else, obviously you're going to need Trinket and probably Insignia. And let's see. Against Demon Hunter, what I run as a human is I generally run Relentless with an Aegis into Demon Hunters. And Assassination Rogues, I will run Aegis and Medallion. So those are kind of the things that I run. And into casters, I always run Relentless, and Aegis. So that's my general setup for what I use into twos guys, double DPS and healer. Like I said, the build does not change much other than maybe 2 key things from my guide. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this. Like I said, the 2 or 3 difference do make a big change inside of Arena, especially with the legendary pair up. So go out there, kick some booty, and let me know what you guys are using, all right? Till next time.